Dear Chairman, dear audience, my name is Kalanovic. I'm leading the medical teams for Pfizer Oncology in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. I work in Berlin, Potsdamer Platz, where we also have our European headquarters for oncology. The ultimate goal of my talk is to convince you that if you have a brilliant idea in colorectal cancer research or in cancer research in general and you want to bring it to patients, you should consider Pfizer Oncology a very capable and attractive partner for you. So in the next 10 minutes I will show you the reasons why. I will give you a bird's eye view of our pipeline. I give you two recent development examples that show you how we bring medicines to patients. And in a third short part, I will show you our current collaborations. And let's get started. I mean, where are we coming from? I mean, if you know that Pfizer is a big company, and maybe your first association with Pfizer is not oncology. But oncology is growing, is one business unit that is the most rapidly growing within Pfizer. And the number that you see for the R&D investment is the biggest chunk is spent in oncology. That's very clear that our ambition is to become a leader in oncology. On the other hand, small group within Pfizer, big investment. This is a startup spirit that I should say in our business unit. What it has delivered in the last years, this investment is a broad pipeline. And this is really a busy slide, and I will not go through all the details. And and you have seen on congresses probably similar slides of drug makers. The important thing to stress here is that we have a broad spectrum of platforms. So we have all the tools in place that should enable us to develop cures and improved medicines in the next years. So we have a large immuno-oncology program. We have antibody drug conjugates. We have cell cycle inhibition. We have biologicals, small molecules. And the important thing is now, the one thing you have to have these nice boxes, colored boxes. The other thing is, can you really bring them to patients? And this is what this slide should show you, what we have done pick the last 9 years. Pfizer Oncology has brought 6 therapies in the last 9 years to patients, launches. 4 of them were first in class, meaning that a mechanism of action was first introduced with this drug. And so you see this is a wide range of solid tumors, but also a broad range of hematologic tumors. Also from a treatment philosophy, you will see now 2 examples that are different. What you also see is that we are very open to broaden our indications to colorectal. So that's, if you have an idea, as I said, very welcome. But let me show you 2 examples in the next couple of slides. The one is, and it was mentioned this morning, is for us, I mean, if you work in this industry as a drug maker, this is a very motivating example. It's the story of crizotinib. And it should also be motivating for researchers like you, because it has shown in what a short time frame you can come from a Nature publication in 2007 to an ASCO plenary in 2010 to a labeled drug in 2011, in the EMA in 2012. So the important thing here is that you need a partner that has the agility, that has the resources and the decision making to do what we did with Xalkori, to really, after the first signals of efficacy, we had a phase 1, a large phase 1 with an ALK inhibitor, when it was clear scientifically that it is most promising in NSCLC. We basically concentrated the full program on NSCLC, and And the other thing that I find very important, also being a medical doctor, this is not only about selling or a new drug. What happened, and if you look now, and Heidelberg has contributed to that development, and other institutes in Germany, we have a totally new disease area that is treatable, that is druggable. You have now, some years later, 3 or 4 compounds that are in research. So now, today, a patient with ALK-positive lung cancer gets a sequence of therapies. Imagine that in other disease areas, and you saw this morning already presentation that it's not, that it's already in place, the tools to do that. Another totally different example is another first-in-class drug and this story here is more about, let's say, acceleration. So in science, it has already been known a long time that cell cycle inhibition is an attractive target. The problem here was to find drugs that have a positive therapeutic index, that are efficacious on one hand and not have not too many side effects that harm the patient. So and this is, I will show you no efficacy data, just also in parallel to, or maybe as a contrast to the Xalkori development, with palbociclib, it was very different. We had 10 years of early research, and we had the first signal of impressive efficacy in 2012, and when results were presented in San Antonio. So maybe I skip one back. So in contrast to a very targeted approach of Xalkori, of a small molecule that targets a very specific mutation, you could see cell cycle inhibition. And then now some compounds are in the pipelines of also of other companies as a backbone for therapy. So it enhances, for example, here in this case, the first really really impressive indication is breast cancer, where it enhances and overcomes the resistance of endocrine resistance. So in ER positive, HER2 negative patients, it has its positive signals, and if you see then a huge phase 3 program was started, and also a big collaborative research that I will show you in a later slide. And now we have 2015. You see, it's of course it's not approved in the EMA yet, but it was approved in the US in April. And just think about. I mean, my talk is about impacting lives of patients. Do you imagine how many patients have been treated since April with palbociclib? 16,000. So almost every third woman with metastatic breast cancer, ER positive, HER2 negative, gets palbociclib in the US currently. So this is very impressive what in a short time frame you can achieve with a therapy. So let's switch gears, and of course the 2015 was all about immuno-oncology, and it's good that we have a session also this afternoon, because this is one of the most promising developments in recent years. I mean, I would rather call it a renaissance of immuno-oncology. You know that we have also been very early in the development of CTLA-4 inhibition at Pfizer. So now we have a wave of drugs with PD-1, PD-L1 inhibition that has really a good side effects profile. And actually, we collaborate with a company that most of you that work in colorectal research know very well, with Merck in Darmstadt, who have developed a very promising PD-L1 inhibitor, avelumab. And Pfizer had committed to a huge co-development program with Merck. So we are co-developing in a large number of studies. You see here, won't go into detail in different waves, where we use it as a monotherapy or in a second wave, and combinations from our pipeline. And this is just to show you how big this program is. So these are all phase 3, most of it are phase 3 studies in different indications. So also here, a very ambitious program. And now we come to this, why I think, and to illustrate that we think that collaboration is our strategy, our winning strategy for the future. We have collaborations, of course, with industry partners. But we have also, and this is really something new, that we have our pivotal phase 3 trial. For example, the Penelope trial with the German breast group is a registrational neoadjuvant study, the first for the GBG. This is our pivotal trial. Same with the study PALLAS, adjuvant palbociclib, where also the global PI is sitting in Vienna with ABCSG. So it's really for us a sign of that we trust in clinical research groups and that we are very open to partnerships. Let me conclude by saying that Pfizer has the ambition and I think the capabilities to become a leader in oncology. Our aim is first-in-class therapies, breakthrough therapies, potential for cures. We have seen that we have a portfolio, we have a lot of tools, including immuno-oncology. We commit to collaborations, and we think that only through collaboration with academia, with industry partners, we have the potential to bring our vision alive, to be a leader, speeding cures, have accessible breakthrough medicines, and redefining life with cancer. Thank you for your attention, and yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kalanovic. This paper is open for discussion. Are there any questions from the audience? I guess you have convinced everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we are now stepping to the next contribution.